What's up times three? Is Vaughn the Serious Star, the self-help sensei, Serious V, coming to you from the airwaves. Hopefully everybody's doing good today. Now, I came on to talk about three tips to help you create your own style, your own little swag, your own little, little way of doing your things and putting your style on things as far as when it comes to beat making. Now, let's get right into it. Step number one is, it's going to sound a little crazy because it might sound hard to do, especially like for those individuals who drive a lot, and also for individuals who don't have a lot of their own music already made. Number one is to stop listening to so much of today's music and music that was previously made, like in the past, years ago and stuff like that. So cutting out listening to so much of other people's music is step number one. Now, why do I say cutting out other people's music? It's because you get influenced so much when you're listening and hearing the same stuff over and over and over and over again, and then also hearing and seeing what's popular online and on TV and stuff like that. It influences us to possibly create something similar. I know when I've come across individuals who might have wanted a beat before, they might have wanted it to sound exactly like, let me make this, can you make this sound like this artist's beat? And that's something that, you'll end up sounding just like everybody else pretty much if you constantly just listening to so much of other people's music instead of just creating your own stuff and listening to it, even if it's corny, even if it's trash. I don't care. Just making more of your own music and getting a feel for who you are musically when it comes to beats and stuff like that will help in creating your own style eventually. So that's step number one. Moving on with the list, and we going to step number two. Now, this is a good segue from step number one, which is experiment. Even if you don't finish the beat, it's okay. Experience is what counts pretty much. So when making your own music, you start learning different things. Like if you're using a DAW, for example, a digital audio workstation, and say for example I'm using FL Mobile, so just doing little stuff on there, using effects, using different types of tracks, different types of, mixing different types of sounds and stuff like that, and doing different things on there. Eventually you start experimenting and learning different things about the actual program that you're using, and you start, again, going from step number one, you start creating your own style of how to go about stuff. And again, even if you don't finish the beat, it's the experience on this one which counts for you to, move forward and learning things. And like making beats and stuff like that, like as far as mixing and like mastering beats and stuff like that, it took me a long time to get into that stuff because I was highly focused on like just making the beat actually. So even, for me, this is actually good for me, just experimenting with stuff and learning different ways to mix and ways to master and stuff like that. So experiment, even if you don't finish the beat, it's okay. Experience is what counts, and that's step number two. So let's move on to step number three, which is, it's gonna sound crazy if you don't do it a lot and if you think it's weird. It's gonna be beatboxing and humming. So beatboxing and humming, even if you suck at it. And why I'm saying to do this is because it allows you to get out things that's going on in your head, sound wise. Even if you don't know music theory and stuff like this, this will help you get small sounds out. And I like to stick with basics as the building blocks to be able to do things like this. So say for example, if I don't know music theory and I just want to create a little melody, So I start humming. Let's doom 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 doom, something as small as that. You can take that and copy that on like a piano, or you can record yourself doing that, add effects to it and stuff like that, and make it sound completely different from your voice. So beatboxing is a good way to actually create your own melodies and start off with making your own melodies. And that is tip number 3. So let me just run back through them real quick, which is 3 tips. Step 1, not listening to so much of today's music and the past music. Listening to more of the stuff that you create yourself. Step 2, experiment even if you don't finish the beat. It's okay, because experience is what counts. And then step number 3 is beatboxing and humming even if you suck at it. And all these things eventually over time helps to build your own style. You learn the characteristics of how you like your stuff to sound, and you get away from sounding like everybody else. So it's Von the Serious Star, Serious V, the self-help sensei, coming to you from the airwaves. Hopefully everybody is going to enjoy the rest of their day, and hopefully you can take a few of these tips if you are into making beats, and it'll help you create your own style, and you be on your way to not sounding like so many of the other producers out here. You'll just be, more into your style, stuff like that. So, shutting down the airwaves now. All right.